the rulers out.
Right.
Did anybody watch that final of Copa America, Argentina and Brazil?
No.
No.
I
No,
watched
dreadful
it for
game.
about
Dreadful
10
game.
minutes.
Yeah.
And I turned it off because it was rubbish.
The fouls were bad. The diving was even worse. Neymar has perfected a dive with a double twist. That's amazing.
No
He,
fine.
he
And
learned,
that was just for the kickoff.
yeah. I think he learnt it from watching Jack Grealish.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, Keith, I heard a pundit in one of the, I don't think it was final, I think it was semi, when they talk about Jack Grealish actually commending what you call a dive in a tactical ploy that's well timed to actually fall the second that he's nudged. And it takes a lot of skill to do that, apparently.
Yeah.
I've heard a lot of pundits say that to praise him for his diving.
Yeah.
You're right, the timing of it, the skills involved.
Yeah.
It's
skill,
disgraceful.
and they get paid a lot
Get
of
rid-
money for it.
Get rid of those pundits.
Yeah.
But,
Well,
yeah.
Harry Kane's got the technique as well, though, hasn't he?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His
That's it now.
play improved a lot, didn't it? As the competition went on. I mean,
Until
I
the
thought he had a good final.
Yeah.
Who did?
Yeah.
Kane,
Who did? He had a good first half of the final.
yes,
Rubbish after that.
yes. Fair comment, Keith. Yeah.
Harry Maguire's had a tremendous tournament.
He has. Yeah. Yeah.
I still can't get over the commentary that his heading the ball was like hearing a dull thud.
Don't what? Don't what?
When he scored that goal,
Oh,
who
don't
was,
thud. Yeah.
was it Ukraine? I can't remember, but they said everybody could hear it around. It was like a dull thud. And, you know, you could hear the innuendo.
One thing about Harry Maguire's heading, and I said this when he played for United, is you know how some players, when they go to head the ball, they put the power into the head.
Yeah.
He doesn't. His headers are more or less the ball hitting him and going in the direction that he's headed it, rather than him coming in and powering. And you look at the goal that he scored, he was actually running in and the ball hit him. And
Yeah.
he's not I don't know, a Jeff Astle kind of header or
Well, as Kenneth Wolstenholme said about John Ritchie, he's got a boot between his ears.
Did any of you,
Vic Keeble.
did any of you
Vic
spot?
Keeble.
Sorry,
Go on, Ian.
sorry, Peter. I'm sorry. I was just saying, did any of you get to or see the Queen's pub on at Mosborough on TV?
Yeah. And the British Oak.
Show, yeah.
British Oak.
The British.
British
Ian, I didn't have to watch the matches. I knew exactly when England had scored because I live about 100 yards from the Queen.
Yes, I know. Yeah. But the news agent, halfway down the high street in Mosborough,
Yeah.
who was interviewed,
Mm.
brought back memories.
According to the BBC, everybody in Mosborough is Harry Maguire's best friend or relative.
So Vinny would agree to that, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
anyway, big Paul.
Yeah, I was just going to say, of all the penalties taken in the final, I thought Maguire's was the best taken penalty of the lot.
I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Before we do discuss that, Lol, you'd not quite finished the news of the week, so would you like to?
Just going to finish off with a bit of football about England.
Or do we have
That won't
to?
take long.
Hello? Well, I wrote it out, so I'm going to read it out.
Yeah,
Ooh, get you. Yeah, get you.
Lol, and yeah, that's it. That's
World
what-
domination. LOL's world domination.
We'll go to the semi-finals. Now, after Italy beat Spain in the first semi-final, England beat Denmark 2-1 to set up Sunday's final at Wembley.
Yeah.
They had to come from behind in front of a 65,000 crowd at Wembley to win after extra time. A stunning free kick from Damsgaard after half an hour threatened another semi-final heartache. But an own goal 8 minutes later levelled the score, with Harry Kane scoring the extra time winner on the rebound after his penalty was saved by Kasper Schmeichel.
Terrible penalty.
Shocking save as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't believe that all these penalty takers, the goalkeeper always dives. He never jumps. So why don't you hit it higher?
Yeah.
He's not as likely to catch it, stop it, is he? You know, every goalkeeper dives either one way or the other. So if you put it in the air, he's going to look stupid.
Yeah.
Quite creepy. The other thing I thought.
Chris Waddle put his in the air.
Yeah.
He's still flying.
He's still going.
Yeah.
To be fair to that lad, it only missed the ball by inches. But it looked bad because he was travelling upwards.
Yeah.
The other thing about that semi-final, I thought, the moment before we got the equaliser, which was an own goal, but let's face it, it was a good move. They did a similar move, which we nearly scored from. I thought at that point we'd actually found a way round behind them, and that we capitalised upon.
And Sterling missed a sitter there.
And they never played that move again.
No.
It astonished me.
Spain were a better team against Italy, I thought.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, they definitely were. Yeah.
Carl
They
Walker
just
had a
couldn't
good
score.
game against Denmark.
That Pedri guy's good. Pedri.
Yeah. Gone in.
Spain's got no strikers though, have they?
No.
Right, we'll just go on to the final. Now, England's hopes of ending a 55-year wait for a major trophy were crushed in heartbreaking fashion as they lost 3-2 in the dreaded penalty shootout to Italy in the 2020 final at Wembley. England made a dream start when Luke Shaw volleyed in superbly in only the second minute, the quickest ever goal in the final in the history of the Euro competition. Italy slowly gained control of the match and equalised when Leonardo Bonucci scored after a scramble from a corner. England were then on the back foot, but managed to get through to extra time and then to penalties without conceding any further goals. It was only the second ever European Championship final to be decided by spot kicks. There ended my news. So,
All right.
Well,
Can
done,
I
lads.
say a
That's
massive
your lot.
thank you to Lowell.
Very much indeed.
Fantastic, Lowell.
18 months of hard work.
Queen's
Yeah.
water industry.
And
You've
we
had to
do-
listen to it all as well.
Yeah.
And
We
it's
had a
all-
longer pandemic than us.
and it's all
We'd be
recorded.
glad to have you back sometime.
I will still listen to it, Ian, each week.
It's all on YouTube
got
now,
time.
mate. You don't even have to go to the website. It's on YouTube. Just Google for SM Group Zoom meetings, and you're famous. Everybody will want selfies.
Well, nobody's ringing the telephone. My doorbell hasn't gone. Telephone hasn't gone. Can't be that famous.
Give
Not
it,
yet.
give it to. Actually, Keith, can I ask a question of you, football pundits?
Yes.
What happened to England in the second half? I mean, why didn't they maintain the supremacy
Attacking
they had?
control.
What did the Italians do that actually broke
Played
England up?
better.
Better.
Played
Yeah,
better.
but, I mean,
They
technically,
played
what
better, but I think they slightly changed their formation and brought another midfielder in. And at times, our two midfielders of Phillips and Rice were overrun with they were triangled out of it, and that's why they gained control. But for me, England, as soon as they got that first goal, they should have taken Trippier off, even though he created it, and brought Grealish on and gone for the jugular.
Yeah.
What, after 2 minutes?
Big style with a won-
I don't know why they didn't bring Sancho on earlier.
yeah.
Yeah.
As much as I dislike Grealish's diving and all that,
He's a very good player.
he's a
He
good
is.
player.
He is.
And
It does
it's-
cause problems, doesn't it?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and they had the player of the match in, and he got kicked off in the end.
Yeah.
Is it?
Elect-
Gaber, yeah, he was stamped on. We kicked him out of the game. We kicked Insigne out of the game as well.
But he was the best player in the final by far.
Yeah, he was the best player in the semi-final, I think, too.
Yeah, yeah.
Not everybody was in thrall with that. Talking to somebody on Sunday morning, and he reckoned, and on Sunday afternoon he was going to do some painting so he could watch it dry in the evening.
Right, just a couple of pieces of football news that Lol didn't mention was that both United and Wednesday played their first friendly for the new season. I thought Wednesday got a creditable 3-1 defeat at Celtic. You know, whatever team it is, it's still 3-1 against a team that's going to be in Europe next season's pretty good. And United beat a Gibraltar team 3-0.
They're in Europe as well.
Yeah.
But I think they're about the Sunday League side, so I wouldn't
Don't think they're as good as that. No, they weren't as good as that. No, they weren't as good as that. No.
I didn't think there was enough room on Gibraltar for a football pitch.
Football pitch, yeah.
There is. I've seen it. There's very little room, but I've seen it. But I don't think they played it in Gibraltar. I think they played in Spain, didn't they?
They played at Marbella, I think.
Yeah.
Chris, we're getting an echo off you because you've
Yeah.
got two things open.
Yeah, I've got problems. I'm sorry.
I think you'll need
We
to
know
turn
that,
your phone off. Good man.
I think that's better.
Right.
Yeah.
That's it.
So,
Can I give you a quick update on two films of the week, Keith?
ooh, yes, please.
Just very quickly, I can only find two films worthy of mentioning. One is the perennially brilliant Escape to Victory. That's on again. It's still marvellous. It's on TCM this coming Thursday in the afternoon, if anyone hasn't seen it. I can't believe that. But the interesting film I found, which is loosely connected to the Olympics, is called Richard Jewell. The film is called Richard Jewell. It's directed by Clint Eastwood. It came out in 2020, and it's a fact-based account of what happened in Atlanta when Richard Jewell, a security officer, found the bomb.
Oh.
And it's all about what happened at the Olympic Games, not at the stadium, I'm pleased to say, but nevertheless, an incident that happened in the Olympic Park. And Clint Eastwood, really?
We went to Atlanta, yeah.
When that happened?
Yes.
Oh, right. Crikey. Well, I'll shut up and defer
That
to
was
you,
his
Paul.
fourth honeymoon.
No, sorry,
But,
I wasn't in the park when it was.
No, but you were there. Yeah.
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 Got
I mean,
alibi.
They had
Yeah.
people running around Atlanta, you know, people who were selling newspapers and so on. We got the bomber, and all this sort of stuff.
Yeah. Well, they hadn't got the bomber. They hadn't got the bomber.
He was on one of his legendary honeymoons, and
That's
actually the ground really did move for them both.
Anyway, if anyone wants to see the film, it's on Sky Drama. It's on Friday this week, and it's at 6:45. It is a really well-made film, like most Clint Eastwood films are, and it's well worth watching for particularly now we know that a member of the group was actually in Atlanta at that time. It's a very good film.
We'll give it a go. Yeah.
Thanks, Keith.
Right. Okay. Thanks, Chris.
No problem.
We'll now move again swiftly on to Peter. Peter has got a piece about old cricket grounds. So I'll leave it to you to explain, Peter.
Well, it's a little freebie magazine, advertising thing that goes out to S11 and S17, and we're in S17. And it's called the Lost Yorkshire County Cricket Club Venues. And I thought it was quite interesting. I'll read most of it. I'll ask you the odd question. Headingley in Leeds has long been established as the headquarters of Yorkshire County Cricket Club, but that has not always been the case. And whilst the famous ground and test match venue in northwest Leeds has racked up 441 first-class games since Yorkshire first moved there in 1881, it's not the only frequently used ground. Far from it. In truth, Yorkshire had a nomadic existence in the early years, with Bramall Lane, of course, largely accepted as Yorkshire's spiritual home for many years. The Lane hosted Yorkshire's first ever first-class game in 1863 and went on to become their home for 391 games until when?
1973.
Yes, that's exactly right, 1973.
August.
Yeah. And
which day? Which day?
It was something like the 3rd of August. 3rd of August, I'm going for.
What time? What time?
11 o'clock start.
Yeah.
I was there.
Yeah, the day we handed Yorkshire cricket to Leeds.
I bought 3 yards of the outfield at the end of the game.
All right. How many home grounds do you think Yorkshire have used in total in the 158 years existence? Any guesses? How many?
10.
Any others?
13.
I'd say it's near.
7.
23. You were very close, Keith.
2 dozen.
23 grounds in total. And at the end of the 19th century, a number of them.
23, as many as that.
Yeah. A number were used in singular occasions, such as College Grove in Wakefield, Hall Park in Horsforth, Leeds, Wigginton Road in York, and Shaw Lane at Barnsley. Others were used sparsely and are now long gone, such as the recreation ground at Holbeck in Leeds, used 3 times, which is now covered by housing, and it's a stone's throw from Ellen Road, of course. As Yorkshire became more established,
Ellen Road.
Yeah,
it should be a spit. A spit.
Spit from Ellen Road.
Yeah.
As Yorkshire became more established, they were famous for using numerous satellite grounds. A regular and ongoing favourite being North Marine Road in Scarborough, of course. This is one of the most picturesque grounds in the country, surrounded by charming Victorian guest houses, circling seagulls, and the unmistakable smell of sea and fish and chips. Yorkshire have played 244 games at Scarborough from 1874 onwards. Bradford Park Avenue was another ground shared with football. That was used from 1881 to 1996, hosting 307 games. It's incredible, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
The next most used was, guess where?
Bromley.
Harrogate.
Harrogate. 91 games from 1894 to 96. Harrogate. They then downsized their outground roster in 96. And 2 other victims, of course, were Abbeydale Park in Sheffield and Acklam Park in Middlesbrough. They played 45 times at Acklam Park in Middlesbrough. The other notable grounds used were the Circle in Hull, 88 matches, Savile Town in Dewsbury, 49 games to 1933, and Fartown Ground in Huddersfield, 72 games. In 2019, Yorkshire broke with recent tradition and played one game at York, yeah. York's Clifton Park against Warwickshire, with 2 fixtures also scheduled for 2021. I just thought it was quite interesting.
It will rain. I'm due to go. It will rain.
That's it, Keith. Thank you.
All right, that's brilliant. Thank you.
Keith,
yes.
just that was very interesting, Peter. Just to add to that, knowing what Peter was going to talk about, the great cricket historian Peter Wynne Thomas at Trent Bridge, who Peter will know very well, he did a survey, a study of grounds in Nottinghamshire, played by league cricket and club cricket and what have you. And he published a book in 2000 of his results, and it is quite frightening. In 1950 he found 366 cricket grounds in Nottinghamshire, and there are now only 177 of those in current use. And there is a dramatic fall in cricket clubs, and I don't think that's a Nottinghamshire thing. I think that is possibly everywhere, but collieries in Nottinghamshire went from 40 cricket grounds to 23. Villages went from 116 down to 64. So cricket's very healthy at the top end. It's got quite a few issues at t'other.
I guess it'd be quite expensive.
It costs a lot of money, doesn't it, to maintain a cricket ground?
Yeah, you do need income from things like the bar, and not everyone can manage a bar. You know, it just
even compared to such as a bowling green, the cricket pitch is much bigger. So it takes.
You've got
fewer people want to use them as well. There are just so many other things to distract people.
And the big problem these days is that cricket lasts quite a long time.
Yes, it does.
And youngsters aren't prepared to spend 5 or 6 hours
and the rest
away from doing other things like playing on their
phones,
computers.
Did anyone play cricket at all, other than Chris and Keith? And played cricket?
Not regularly. I played, but not regularly.
Yes.
I finished playing a few years ago now, but I played in Sheffield even for a team called Rent a Crowd.
Rent a Crowd.
Well, you couldn't have any ringers, you know, because the name of the club was Rent a Crowd, so everybody was welcome.
What about you, Paul? Who did you play for?
I played for Norton Woodseats in Sheffield, but then I went to and played Chesterfield Barbarians and finished up playing several seasons for Cole Aston.
Okay. Anyone else?
I played up till about 6 or 7 years ago.
Right. Colin?
Yeah, I played at Retford in my youthful times, and I played, when I moved south, so I played for a team called Eton Soken and St. Nates and Kimbolton. That was, and I also had about a dozen games for Huntingdonshire.
Right. Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty good.
Mr. Jackson played on a hell of a lot.
Yeah.
I played a lot of grounds.
Yeah, a lot of grounds.
Yeah, a lot of grounds in Nottinghamshire.
Yeah.
And Bramall Lane, of course. I played on Bramall Lane and
wow.
Headingley. And
a real superstar.
I played at Bridlington. Yorkshire at Bridlington,
Right.
My last innings, I was out, caught behind off a slow left armour by Jeff Miller, who was keeping wicket at the time.
It's not a bad way to
another claim to fame.
Not a bad way to go.
No.
I've totted up at least 20 grounds that I've played at that don't exist anymore,
Yeah.
which is really sad. And some
Yeah.
lovely. The best one was Steatley,
Yeah,
and Keith in his pomp.
Jim Harkins ground that, Chris.
Jim Harkins ground, yeah.
Yeah.
And I will never, one of my most treasured memories as a little lad was watching Keith bowl at Steatley, and he bowled the great Steatley out for next to nothing. And that was a fantastic ground, Keith, wasn't it? First class.
It was very
First
good ground.
class. Yeah.
We've got enough groundsmen there, haven't they? We've got enough groundsmen there.
Well, just, they had a groundsman in charge of roses, I think.
I think they did.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was a good ground. It was a good ground to play at.
Wow. What a ground. I once played against Matthew Root. My brother and I played against Steatley, and we had a big battle against Steatley containing Matthew Root with a little boy on the boundary line with blonde hair.
Yeah.
That was obviously Joe.
Yeah. Right, Ian, you had your hand up.
Well, Chris sent me a magazine at the time I was at Egbert, but I did actually get a couple of games for Liverpool as an opening bat. I wasn't anything like your standard, but it was such a lovely ground, and I still have very, very fond memories of Egbert. As I've told you before, looked right across the Mersey to the Wirral. Beautiful.
Yeah. There was a very good picture of that ground in that article, wasn't there?
It was such a pleasure to get it from you. Thank you so much.
Oh, no,
I've had a lot of fun memories of this.
Yeah, Lol, you had your hand up earlier.
I did, but I didn't play in their standards. I just played for the Sheffield Postmasters Steelworks team.
Right.
In the Sheffield League.
Yeah.
Sure, it was a good one.
I enjoyed it.
Yeah.
I remember the time when United got relegated. I said it a few weeks ago when that he missed a penalty in the last minute and play stopped while we listened to the penalty being taken. You were there though, Chris, weren't you, that match?
And no, I wasn't at that much. I was playing cricket like yourself. No, I was spared the misery again of seeing United.
Somebody got a radio on the boundary and we all went over towards him when he said, "Oh, United's got a penalty."
Yeah.
But I enjoyed the cricket. Like you say, it went on until about 8 o'clock and 9 o'clock at night sometimes.
Yeah.
44 overs, I think we used to play.
I think we played 40 in Blackburn. Yeah.
Sadly, 46.
Has anybody ever played trios, 3-a-side cricket?
No.
I've eaten a trio chocolate biscuit.
I play string trios.
It's cracking. Two bowlers and a wicket keeper, and everybody bats, last man stands, and you just have 3 fielders from another team for you. So there's only 6 fielders, including your wicket keeper. It's fascinating stuff.
Yeah. Sadly, I was told never to that I shouldn't play because of the danger to my fingers. But a lot of musicians do play, and to quite a good standard. But I'm afraid I haven't.
Yeah.
Does anybody remember? Does anybody remember going back to what Lowell was saying about playing until sort of late in the evening? The final, I can't remember which final it was. It was a knockout final. Lancashire winning.
Lancashire, yeah.
Yes.
And we were
Jack Bond taking the catch.
That's right. We were watching it on the television in the pavilion because we couldn't see it in normal daylight.
Yeah.
That's how late and dark it was.
Yeah, it was pretty dark.
Yeah. I mean, that was quite common though, wasn't it, playing in the dark? I remember one game played against Camel Lairds, and it was getting very dark, and the batsman backed away from the wicket as the bowler was coming in and said to the umpire, "I can't see the ball, I can't see the ball." And the umpire said, "He keeps it behind his back till he bowls. Get on with it."
Right,
Just know, in the early days of the Gillette Cup, when it was 65 overs a side, then, as you mentioned, the famous Lancashire final, but there must have been many games that finished very late indeed.
Good days.
Remember that test match in Pakistan when I think it was Moeen Khan had wasted a lot of time as the wicket keeper, and so the umpires kept England on, and England won. First time they'd won a series. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Yeah, that was you couldn't see it on the telly, and that was a payback for wasting time.
Okay, John.
Only I hate to bring any culture into these proceedings, but looking through me archives, I just came across this poem about cricket that I thought you might be interested in. A poet called Kit Wright, and the poem is called "The Roller in the Woods." Who would imagine a cricket ground had ever existed here, folded into form on the downland pasture, lapping the edge of the oak wood and the buttercup quilted rides? For the toll is returned to plough after a century of combat, sown to a sea of blue-green waves beneath which it lies drowned. And now, stick nor stone of the old pavilion, hook nor slat of the scoreboard left. Never an echo of tumbling children, tattle of Edwardians, knocking their pipes out on the rough deal benches. Foaming hawthorn and rhododendron have colonised the field edge, spreading through copper beech and flowering chestnut and adventitious saplings. Where is the camaraderie of the side I played for so often here? Their thunderous blows and heroical overs, the days that flowed with sun and wind, stalemates in dismal drizzle, and the finger of death uplifted in the dusk.
Oh, very good.
Very good. Yeah.
Very good. Yeah.
Well done there, John. I haven't heard that before.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember when I was at BT, they used to have a cricket competition in-house, and it normal 11-a-side, but everybody had to bowl 2 overs, and apart from the wicket keeper, and then the batsman, if they got 25, they had to then come out and somebody else go in. So it was.
Keith, I've been invited to play in a bit of a friendly T20. You know, it's not serious stuff, but it'll be good fun meeting old teammates. And the rules are you've got to bowl 2 overs. Everyone's got to bowl 2 overs. Yeah. And I have said I'm only playing if I'm allowed a substitute bowler. So that when it's my turn, I bring my sub on, he bowls my 2 overs, and then I'll come back. From having bowled all my life, I can't even get I just couldn't bowl it. It's just terrible. It's so deflating. It's just so deflating. Underarm, yeah. Do a what was his name? Chappell. Do a Chappell.
Pretend to be an Australian.
Yeah.
Oh, they've lost again today. That's very funny. They've lost again.
Yeah. Do they still have single wicket competitions?
Some clubs,
they haven't had one for a long time.
This season, didn't they?
Yeah, there used to be double wicket and single wicket, but you don't see them very often now because there's not a lot of cricket played on Sundays anymore.
No.
They had internationals, didn't they?
Yeah.
All rounders, because I remember Clive Rice winning it.
He did.
Because I got Benson Hedges to sponsor him.
Yeah, he did.
I've got a couple of hands up. Dave the Beard first.
Yeah.
Big Paul afterwards.
It's a what happened next, and it's cricket. Some of you might have seen it. Halifax Cricket League Shield quarter-final. Illingworth St Mary's versus Sowerby St Peter's. It's a few weeks back. The batsman gets a short ball. What happened next?
He played it into a boundary, straight through a windscreen.
Oh yes,
His own windscreen.
His own rear windscreen.
Oh yes,
that's right. Yeah, a Vauxhall Severa. Brilliant.
The club chairman cleared it up and promised to pay for the replacement.
All right.
The picture of him on his knees like this.
Big Paul.
Yeah, Keith. Just a question: Are you here on Zoom meeting next Tuesday, or will you be away on your celebration?
All being well, I'll be here. We've got an issue with my father-in-law at the moment, but I'll be sending out the invites as normal, and Ian's on standby. Ian can fill in for me. He's got my login details for Zoom, so if need be, Ian will take over. So there will be a Zoom meeting next week.
But as it stands, are you here next Tuesday? As it stands at the moment, are you here?
Yes. Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, because as you're alluding to, Paul, are you just about to mention his event?
No, when it's our
I think
golden
somebody
wedding.
should.
Yeah.
It's our golden wedding, but it's
Oh,
on
right.
the 22nd.
Right.
We go away on the 22nd to the 23rd.
Yeah. 24th of July, isn't it, Keith?
It is, yes.
50 glorious years.
Many congratulations to you and Susan, Keith.
I don't know how she spoke with me.
God, how did that? How did she?
Exactly the same.
I thought I'd cross your mind, Keith.
Yeah.
You're going away, Keith. Where's she going?
Going into that, he's going into
How
his
on
job
earth has
to
she
clear
put
it
up
out.
with you all that time? That's
I've
unbelievable.
I've no idea.
Yeah.
What a saint.
Yeah.
So again, as I
She
mentioned
left him
last week,
49 years ago.
yeah. Right, as I mentioned last week, again, and as Sandra's mentioned about, we're not going back into the library just yet. We hope to be, but if you can have a think as to, we want to continue with the Zoom meetings if it's possible at all.
Yeah. Yeah.
It won't be possible on a Monday or a on a Tuesday or a Wednesday once we go back into the library. So if you can have a think, what's the best day for you? I probably ought to send out an email to everybody to just say,
good idea. Give people a chance to think about it.
Yeah.
is that okay? We're less than a minute. So
Yeah.
thanks.
Thank
It's
you very
done.
much.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you,
Till
Peter.
next week. And thank you again, Sandra.
So,
Bye, Sandra.
Great. Keep going.
All
Catch
right.
a wake as well.
Yeah.
See everybody. Bye.
Bye then.
Bye-bye, lol.
See you.
Bye, Lol.
Hello.
cheers, lol.
Hello.
Cheers.
All the
love.
best. All the best.
Hello.
I'll see some of you tomorrow anyway.
Oh, no.
Yeah.